If ever there was a quote that captured the entire liberal worldview in a single sentence, it's this one in the New York Times. It's an article about Carly Fiorina. And a woman described as a feminist author, Jennifer Weiner, is quoted as saying the following about Carly. "It's so weird. She looks like one of us, but she's not." What on earth could she be talking about? Well, apparently in Jennifer Weiner's world, and maybe in some precincts of the New York Times, you can only be a feminist, you can only be acceptable as a female candidate for president of the United States if you are pro-choice on abortion. Now, obviously, there are very strong feelings on this issue on both sides. And just as obviously, Carly Fiorina has gotten herself into a controversy by what she said at the CNN debate about those undercover Planned Parenthood videos where she said she spoke so passionately about the selling of fetal body parts, but the image that she referred to on the video is a stock footage image, and so she has not owned up to a slight misrepresentation of the video. But that's not what this is about. This is about, according to the Times, and here's more from Jennifer Weiner, you're on the bus with her until she starts talking about Planned Parenthood. So what this means is, if you're a female candidate for president, if you're Hillary Clinton, remember all the excitement about her shattering the ultimate glass ceiling. But if you're a Republican, if you're Carly Fiorina and you're not pro-choice, well, you're off the bus. You're not one of us. You're not allowed to disagree. You're not even allowed to call yourself a feminist, somebody who would agree with pushing equal rights for women because you have a different view on abortion. And that says a lot about what Carly Fiorina is running into these days. Now look, given that she is moving up in the polls and third place in some polls, it's to be expected there'd be a lot of media scrutiny on the former HP CEO, HP's chief executive officer, and that's perfectly fair. And she has to demonstrate that she can withstand that kind of scrutiny, whether it's of her business record, whether it's, here's another area where I think that she gets treated a little differently as a woman. A whole piece in the Washington Post style section about, is she just too serious? Why doesn't she smile more? Why doesn't she lighten up? Okay, I don't recall seeing such a piece about, say, Ted Cruz, because pieces like that don't get written, generally speaking, about male candidates. But look, that comes with the territory. Obviously, being a woman helps Carly Fiorina in some way. She certainly stands out in the GOP field. And to the extent that her passionate advocacy of the pro-life position and making an issue of Planned Parenthood defunding helps her in this campaign with potential Republican voters. Of course, she's going to take flack from liberal columnists and other liberals who have a very different view of Planned Parenthood and abortion. That, too, is part of the gauntlet that you have to run as a presidential candidate. In a way, it shows how seriously she's being taken now by the press. But the idea that she's off the bus, that she's not one of us because she happens to have a different view of abortion, which, by the way, there are many women in this country who are pro-life, that says to me that she's being covered differently on an ideological basis, and to some extent that is simply not fair.